Hello again, and welcome to the Bored to Death Bingecast, where we talk TV shows and movies in easily digestible chunks. I am Jay Winger, being joined by the whole crew we've got.
Chris.
Zeke.
Sam.
And the Peanut Gallery is here also. Whether
Hello.
or not, whether or not,
Voice, we have to have a new name.
oh my God, that's right.
Who's the new name?
Not a new name. She's been here before.
Yeah, but no, she hasn't actually been on
She
the
was Peanut
podcast
Gallery.
before. She was just the silent partner listening in.
We should call it Peanut Gallery.
It's Sam's wife,
Let's call her
whether
Peanut.
she's going to
Yes.
join in or not. Peanut, there we go.
Yay!
Sam's wife, Peanut. Say hello, Peanut.
Hello.
And, of course, we've got Kat from Shadow Cat Gaming is the other member of the Peanut Gallery.
Do I have a red shoe
Shadow
and
Cat
purple
cosplay.
crazy hair? 'Cause I'm
Sure.
Peanut.
We'll go with that.
Like Jeff Dunham is gonna
That's-
sue us.
That's what
Anyway, this is going
Corrected his colors too.
so this is going to
She's
be
not
one of
wearing
our most timely of binge casts, because we're actually doing something that's
Oh,
current. Oh, Zeke has
would
something
be
to
a
say.
most excellent.
Most excellent
Excellently
indeed.
timed.
Yes, most excellently timed, because we are about to binge through Bill and Ted Face the Music.
And we're gonna hope it's not gonna be a bogus journey.
Most assuredly, we want it to be most especially non-heinous.
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 I don't know. You put too many negatives in it, you might have positive.
Yeah, no, but see, he did 3 nons, so it comes back around to non-heinous.
Ah,
Because the first 2 nons cancel each other out.
right.
You got to understand the Southern California grammar of the late 80s, early 90s.
Totally noticed when you opened, you kind of fumbled words.
Yeah, a little bit. Because we're all just sort of hyped up. You know?
I'm more scared than hype. I'm looking at the train right down this lane going, please just hit the track.
I've watched
Yes, very, very true.
Actually, no, I watched 2 reviews on the other movie that came out today that I won't be able to see today.
And that one
Are they
being
good? New Mutants. No. It basically telling me not to see it.
Wait.
But you're going to see it anyway.
You're telling me
Not
the
in
movie?
theaters.
Yeah, of course.
The movie that's been delayed how many times?
And reshot at least 2 to 3 times? Is that right?
Is that the horrible train wreck?
Oh,
2, 3 times, give or take, multiple delays.
like 4-year delay, 3-year delay.
I'll be fine.
I mean, it's not like it's good. It's been
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here.
We go
we're
back
here.
in time and fix this later.
Yeah. We're about to watch Bill and Ted 3. We've just over the past week watched the first 2 because for a lot of us it's been many years since we've seen the first
about
2.
15.
More than that for me.
I don't even remember when I last watched. Before I bought
Actually,
them on
no,
Voodoo.
Maybe 20.
Close. It's not quite 20 because Bill and Ted 2 was 1991.
Last time I saw a Bill and Ted movie, it
So-
was on VHS.
It'll be 20 years next year.
Somebody who's listening to this is gonna go, "Mom, what's a VHS?"
Well, honey, it's back when cassette players were around. What's cassette player? God damn it.
Yeah, basically.
Go on Google.
It's like a
Look,
CD.
those
What's a CD?
kids react to stuff.
All of us are older than fucking Google.
Yes, it's
Oh my
very
God.
true.
Hey, how about some Netscape Navigator up in here?
Hey, don't make me get my MySpace.
Netscape alone that dates
I
it.
appreciated you.
Yeah.
AOL Instant
I
Messenger.
need to find something to throw at Zeke.
You got mail. Hopefully on
But,
spam.
You got pills.
Yeah, so we're very much we're very much hoping that Bill and Ted 3 is at least entertaining.
I'm expecting entertaining.
Yes.
I hope we're going to be at least entertained.
You know, the rest of the crew here kind of doesn't like the fact that I don't rate the first 2 Bill and Ted movies after having rewatched them very highly. I enjoyed them; they were fun, but they weren't great movies.
Okay,
That's just
we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this properly.
okay.
Jay, you have 1 to 5 stars. Bill and Ted 1.
3.5.
Bill and Ted 2.
I would probably go with 3. Not as good as the first one.
But still entertaining.
Still entertaining.
See, I was on the opposite
But there were
end.
plenty of times when I was watching it, I was just like, oh my God. And I was literally covering my face with
Well,
my
the
hand
thing
because
is that-
cringe comedy is not
See,
one of my
the-
favorite
the-
things.
The
But
problem
it
is
wasn't
that
cringe comedy back then.
It is cringe comedy, though. Doesn't
then,
matter
it's
if they
only
didn't
because-
call it that then. It's still cringe comedy.
It's the concept of what cringe is today
Fair.
puts it in that bubble.
Yeah,
but
there were-
for that bubble back then,
Like there
That's
were a lot.
80s,
There were some jokes and stuff.
goofball comedy.
Yeah, there were some jokes and stuff that they did in the first two movies that we heard those lines. We're like, whoa, they'll never be able to get away with doing that now.
Oh, we're hoping they're gonna put some of that in the Bill Test 3.
Yeah.
Whoa, you can't say that.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
yeah,
That would be too edgy of them.
yeah. And there's no way the studio execs will let that sort of thing
Well,
fly.
it's like what I said about another thing that we binged, where I said it's a product of its time.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make it okay.
No,
Regardless,
I mean it's like watching,
product of its time.
it's
yeah.
like watching the old Looney Tunes cartoons with all the jokes that they got away with at that time.
hmm
Yeah, product of its time.
As opposed to like an Animaniac style of humor where it's like, how did they get that past the censors?
And nobody knows how they managed to do that.
Well,
They knew somebody.
I imagine that they probably put worse stuff in, and the censors took that stuff out, and so
That
they
was the point.
I just want everyone to be excellent to each other.
Yes,
Please, 2020.
yeah. This is regardless of what happens in Bill and Ted 3, the message from the first Bill and Ted movie needs to be repeated in this day and age.
Be
Be excellent.
Be excellent to each other.
It's-
And party on, dudes! So, let's get down to the binge. When we do the discussion, we will have some spoilers, but we'll give you a warning before we get into that territory. But now, let's
There's a
pause it.
spoiler. It's called credits at the end.
But yeah, so we'll see you after the binge. Thanks for listening to the Bored to Death Bingecast. You can contact us on social media, on Facebook or Twitter at BTD_Bingecast, or email us at binge.cast@outlook.com. We are part of the CKCC Radio podcast community. Go ahead and check out our fellow podcasts like The Nerd Table, J Bunny's Music Hub, Ranking Tracks, The Stupid Sexy Podcast, Real Paranormal Talk, The Race Nerd Podcast, Motivational Moves, and Club Kayfabe Wrestle Talk. CKCC Radio can be found through your podcast streaming platform of choice, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our home on Podbean. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Shoot us a comment if you want to. Thanks again for listening. And now the binge is done, so let's get to the discussion. And we're back. Most excellent ride, although some of us might have differing opinions.
I will say, without spoiling anything, the one thing I thought they were going to mess up, they didn't mess up. I enjoyed that one.
And what was it you were afraid they were going to mess up?
Hold on.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, hold.
We will tell it later at the end. It's not story driven, but
Okay.
then we will tell it.
All right, but definitely, there were a few parts that had some of the cringe comedy that was in the first two movies that I was face palming about. Zeke may have even commented, it's like I can hear Jay smacking his head. I was like, yeah, almost. But it was an enjoyable ride. I feel I did have fun watching this. Anybody else have anything that they want to jump in with a comment about?
I'm glad I watched it at home and not at theater. This does not feel like a theater movie.
No,
to me.
it definitely feels like a theater movie. When it comes to all that music coming out of a mono shit-ass speaker from the TV,
Yeah,
that's a garbage experience for a musical movie.
So,
Yeah,
are you trying to
as a-
say that we need to rewatch this film with surround sound, like speakers on like every single corner of the room?
We're gonna
Once you get your second check, and go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
next paycheck. We're upgrading the sound system apparently now.
yeah. I mean, a better sound system down here would probably be pretty.
Because
nice.
Next time on
With-
Bingecast.
everything just felt like it was just over top of each other when it should be coming from here, there, back
Especially
there,
the
down there.
song that unites the world.
Exactly.
The song that unites the world. Yes, spoilers. There is a great song near the end.
Yes,
but that's
I mean, that's in the trailer.
that's in the trailer. Yeah. So, but
A snippet of it's in the trailer.
a snippet of it is in the trailer. I'll admit I didn't actually see too many of the trailers because I was like, I kind of don't want to know too much
I
going
hated
in.
that I saw the trailers because
It spoiled too much.
no, it was just like, okay, I know that scene. Okay, now wow, they're literally showing me almost the entire opening of the movie.
Yeah.
I saw the trailers. I'm like, oh look, we're passing the torch again.
Oh, that's what you were worried about?
No, that's not what I worried about. I would say this. If you watch Bill and Ted 1, 2, and there's 3, there's a major component missing.
What?
Should we talk about it now, or should we wait?
Not yet.
I'm waiting
So
for the
feelings. Well, we gotta get the feelings on the movie
Yeah.
out of the way first. So
I think it's the most excellent successor.
Yes. Way more worthy than Bogus Journey
it's
was.
probably one of the better 3s of movies I've ever seen.
Agreed.
For the most part.
I would definitely
Especially one that tries to go over a time span.
Yes.
I would definitely
A late edition trilogy kind of thing. Yeah.
Who's gonna cut him off next?
Sorry.
I would definitely say I like better of the 3s, like you said, but I still say Bogus Journey is better than this. I liked the humor in that, maybe because I'm the corny humor guy. Like, I mean,
you
the
do tend to like your corny.
Really, really on the strange end too, compared to all the rest.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I really, I said, I did not mind enjoying. I did enjoy. It was a fun watch, but if I was given the choice of watching 1, 2, or 3, 1, then 2, then 3, unfortunately.
So you would just watch it in order?
No. If I had the choice of like, it was my last movie I'm gonna watch before I'm gonna die,
And you had to pick from this trilogy.
I had to pick from the trilogy. I would rather watch the first one. If that's not available, watch the second one. If it's not available, I'll watch the third one. I mean, it was. I would rewatch it again.
Okay.
See if I miss any Easter eggs, like.
Or it's like, oh, I recognize this call forward now. You know,
like
or,
special cameos that you
yeah.
see in the trailer, the credits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that the guitarist from Faith No More was in this beginning of the second one.
Yeah, we did just watch Bogus Journey right before we watched this one, so yeah, that was a interesting.
I mean, the
little scene.
original guitarist, not the whoever they have right now, because I think at some point in time he just finally got fed up with the band and he just went and left and he just quit guitar playing altogether.
So you would say he had no more faith in the band?
He had Faith No More.
Faith No More in Faith No More.
Yes.
So what was your opinion?
Peanut. She's on
Nose is bleeding.
Oh dear.
Medical emergency. Medical emergency.
Not really. Can't really be that serious because it's not gushing, but you know, a little burst blood vessel or something.
Yeah, so,
I was like, "Are we going for?"
So your opinion is it's a
it was,
blood pressure.
Yeah, it really got her blood pumping.
So much so that it came out her nose.
Well, there are worse places. There are worse places it could be
She
coming.
must really enjoy looking at muscular Bill and Ted.
Well, we'll get to that when we get into the spoiler section. But Peanut,
liked the whole thing. It's the message is we need to get along, and that's what I want.
in other words,
So,
we need to be excellent to each other.
Correct.
And don't forget,
Party
on, dudes! Yeah, and that is a message that they didn't really put towards the end of the Bogus Journey.
But
I was surprised they did.
without saying it.
This is true.
Yes.
Show don't tell.
Show don't tell, but
It's literally- it's the
sometimes you
music
do need to
unite.
hit people over the head with those
It's
messages.
the music that unites the
True.
entire world across time and space.
Mm-hmm.
If it was any more on the head, your nose would be bleeding.
Yeah, so
Chris?
Zeke,
Chris.
yeah,
No, you already had yours.
I don't know why you pointing at me. I'm pointing at him.
I was about to, and then yeah. Anyway, Chris.
You swung on over to me. I think like what I said, it's a worthy successor to the films. I'm honestly hoping because I was thinking this as I was watching it, I was like, are we gonna see a fourth film, but it be about their daughters instead?
And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody isn't already talking about that.
With the way movies like this have been going, you know, they tried to do something like that with Indiana Jones.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Okay,
They
but-
tried to do it with Die Hard twice.
but okay, I'm gonna argue that one real quick.
Although-
with Indiana Jones, real quick, this at least the daughters feel kind of
Connect.
like they should be continuing.
Well, I'm
Compared
just
to
saying that this is what
Shia LaBeouf.
what I was just saying
Actual
about that is
cannibals, Shia Buff.
when the movies industry just tries to milk something so hard that they're just like, okay, we need to carry on the franchise. We need a young face. That's a young face. That's a young face. That's a young face. This
person's
didn't
getting too
feel
old,
like-
and we're going to reboot the franchise again with another young face.
So with this, it didn't feel like that.
No.
It still felt like they were trying to go with that, but actually make a movie out of it, rather than the introduction to the character and you're done. This was the movie feeling like it continued on the story.
It
properly.
flowed much better.
So I need to ask all the three of you this: would the movie have been the same? Obviously, not graphics-wise, in terms of like CGI
If
and
they
all
made
that.
it back then,
If they made it in the '90s, because remember
I don't
what I
think
said.
so.
Because remember what I said was the movie Biodome was supposed to be Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, I don't know that you mentioned this in the intro. In the
No,
first
I
part,
waited.
but but you have mentioned this in our discussions about when we were talking about this. You
Okay,
brought that
so
up,
I really can't find a whole lot on it as to what the movie was supposed to originally be about that got turned into Biodome.
Yes, the infamous Pauly Shore movie, Biodome.
Pauly Shore with I think it's Alec Baldwin is in it. I think, and it has
Baldwin,
and it has Tenacious D in it. Yes, Tenacious D is in the film. Yep.
Would it be Tenacious D if one was not there?
If one was not there, it would not be Tenacious D. It was
it's just real confusing.
It was Jack Black and Kyle Gass.
I remember Kyle Gass. I don't remember Jack Black for whatever reason.
He's in it. But anyways...
You blocked out your memory. Pieces of
no, that movie is literally... If you took the whole film and threw it out in front of me, and it's just Swiss cheese. That's how that movie is to me, and I have seen it multiple times.
Why would you subject yourself to it more than once?
I've been saying
to try to remember what the hell's in those gaps.
But like if Bill and Ted 3 came out instead of Biodome, would it have held up back then?
I will argue saying yes, and maybe better in my opinion.
Okay.
Because those were built for that time period.
More like that, because the jokes could get a little bit more crazier, I would think. And then I'll answer this with a question though: is Star Wars the original one better or worse than the remastered version because of the
that George Lucas put out?
Which, well, the problem is if we go down that rabbit hole, which special?
Well, that's my reason why. There's so much CG in there, which don't get me wrong, it looked pretty, it looked nice, but I feel like some of it I didn't want. I don't want it. It's like, okay, show...
You wanted practical.
No, I still do some of it. Like, at the beginning, when they're showing certain people poofing and popping in other places.
Yeah, cool. When the timeline is starting to fall.
You didn't like the future escape?
But then, do one point, and then don't continue with it. Show, hey, shit's getting real. Continue the story.
They didn't really harp on it too much in the early part. They showed a couple people getting plucked in and out.
They were always background.
But they're always background. When I saw it, it could pop.
Oh, you mean in the later parts when people just kept popping up?
Yeah,
well, that's to show the dire situation of how far along.
It's unraveling even faster.
Basically, shit's getting worse.
Yeah.
We should preface that with a spoiler warning because
a
lot of none of that was in the trailer.
Okay.
So technically, they did mention that they had to play the song.
Yeah, but they never said why and what was happening because of it.
Well,
okay. Shall we now say this is the spoiler?
Okay.
Spoiler warning.
You said we have to say the magic word.
Spoiler
Station!
I was going for spoiler alert, but whatever.
But spoiler alerts from this point forward. If you do not want
5 minutes previous to this,
and sure,
just take the time machine and go back and not remember.
Dial 5 numbers back on your time machine, and
so now we're going to say this. I can say the thing I've been saying. Want to say?
Okay, Rufus.
I swear, like after watching Ghostbusters and doing all these things where they hint to the person who died, it's like. They did this so well when they showed the hologram, and they're like, "This is the same machine that I went back in time with to meet the."
And he was wearing. And they made him look the way he did in the first film.
And I'm like,
they probably literally just took the clip of him just stepping out of the phone booth from the first movie,
but they also
put a little film grain effect over it, and then made it into a hologram.
Yeah, they also had new lines.
It did have new lines.
Maybe they could have just gotten somebody that could do a good George Carlin impression and had him record a couple of lines.
Scared of the train bouncing off the rails from that point because they would put. I knew it was going to be passing the torch. I knew it was going to be here's the dollars, all 3, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're just going. ignore the fact that Rufus is not here. Or,
They went a good back and forth between the daughters and Bill and Ted.
no, I'm saying I was fine, but my point was that the fact that I thought that would be where the train would derail because they're going to be
too much passing of the
Here's
torch.
the story. We're going to shove it down your throat. It's all about the kids.
But no, it wasn't all about the kids.
That's what I was scared about for the whole time. That this movie is going to be, you like our new characters.
Well,
you like our new characters.
They wouldn't be pushing their message too well if they did that.
No, they wouldn't.
Togetherness.
Well, here's the thing though, is that Keanu Reeves, I don't know how many times he's gotten a Bill and Ted 3 script over the past 25 years since Bogus Journey came out.
No, just under 20 years since Bogus Journey.
Him turning down each and every single one to the point to where he gets the script for this one and goes, I approve.
That's a good point. That Keanu Reeves is the one that gave the okay to it, and that got the band back together.
Because I was reading stuff. I was reading trivia up on the movie, as I do when we do this shit. And it said
the relic of knowledge.
It said that he did. He approved of the script. He said he liked the fact that it takes place 20 years after Bogus Journey, and it shows them still trying to write the song that unites the world.
Mm-hmm.
And now it was dire in this situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because
time was running close.
Yeah, before, what was it in the second one? It did, none of that really had to do with the overall plot. It was just more of villain in the future creates two evil Bill and Ted's
robots, and
they go
hijacks
back in
the time machine to
hijacks the time machine, goes back in time. They kill the real Bill and Ted and the same Cliff from the Star Trek episode Arena. Yes, it actually is. They actually did go to that filming location,
and they even just to drive it home. They showed that clip from that episode.
Same camera
on
angle
TV.
too.
Yeah.
Same camera angle too.
Are we reviewing 2 or 3 right now?
All 3 of them.
Sure. Yeah, we're just gonna end up talking about all 3.
This is Bill and Ted's excellent trilogy.
There you go. And the first movie had more to do with them, learning, hey, we are destined to write this song. Second film didn't really have a whole lot to do with that. It's more of stop 2 evil robots to prevent them from destroying what we are supposed to do.
But remember, it's the second turning point of their journeys. Of going to that spot. So it was a crucial point where they could actually alter time. Because remember, if you watch any time traveling movie or show, there was always key points that could
Doctor Who
also because of certain events.
Well, in Doctor Who, it's more the opposite. Fixed points where you can't change what's about to happen.
Oh yes, like David Tennant's second to last episode.
Yes. Or the astronaut from Matt Smith's.
Phone booth show / movie.
There's already been plenty of jokes. Like I was showing him a picture. I think it was from a T-shirt that somebody made of
Bill and Ted.
Ted's phone booth, and they're coming out of it, and they're surrounded by Daleks.
Well, and as we joked about a couple of other weird crossovers, over the course of watching Bogus Journey.
Wayne's World, Scooby-Doo.
Wayne's World, Scooby-Doo.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob.
I just want the one thing they should have done back in the day.
What?
The DeLorean meets the time machine.
Yes.
That's all I want.
Because at one point in time, I think when we were watching the second film, I was like, wait, was that the mall from Back to the Future?
And I was like, no, I didn't see anything about Lone Pines or anything.
But back on track to
back to Bill and Ted.
Continue your point of storytelling.
Where was I with that?
We got sidetracked.
I don't even think you started because you just sidetracked to trivia.
Yeah, like you like to do. But
you're talking about Keanu Reeves.
So Keanu Reeves apparently was the one who approved
the script
for the film, so this was apparently the winner.
And it was a
winner.
winner.
What sucks? How long has Alex Winter been waiting to actually
do this
move? And he's like, come on!
I mean, Keanu,
I want another job.
You do realize if it wasn't for this movie being pushed back so long, we wouldn't have the Ben 10 live action movie.
What?
What?
Oh yeah, Alex Winter did the.
He was the director of Ben 10.
Really?
Yes,
Huh.
live action movie.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Now he had an interesting bit of trivia that you didn't.
It feels the power.
I'm not that big of a
Which-
Ben 10 fan, so.
He did
The original live action.
the original of the kid, and then he was also the voice of the thing that saw the end in when he was a teenager. I will top of my phone while we continue this conversation and come back to it.
To be continued.
Yeah.
The nanite guy.
I think it was the Nana guy.
Okay. I never watched Ben 10, so.
So who do you think waited the longest to get a third film out? Dan Aykroyd with Ghostbusters 3 or Bill and Ted?
Dan Aykroyd is still waiting because the third Ghostbusters
Afterlife got pushed back to next year.
Yeah, the third Ghostbusters movie hasn't been released yet.
They tried to do a reboot equal.
No, well, we're not gonna.
Well,
talk
if you
about
remember in the trailer for Afterlife, they said there hasn't been a ghost sighting in 20 years.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, just the spirit of all those Blu-rays not sold, and the digital graveyard.
But yeah, the
Namek.
Yeah.
Namek was his voice.
that he was named after Piccolo's home planet.
Apparently, no. That was after.
Namek.
That was after
Damn
Death.
it.
Okay.
That's what after the Death Star ate it.
Okay. But yeah, I liked how they had
Yeah, you like that.
the two girls that played Billy and Thea did a good job of
I think
aping
Thea-
the mannerisms of the
Yeah,
of the
that was
fathers.
Thea did the best.
Absolutely she did. She was getting all of Bill's.
See, what I want to know
mannerisms
is,
down.
did the two of them
Yes,
watch
thank
the
you.
first two films?
There's no
No!
way they didn't.
No.
No.
There was actually an interview. That's the one that plays Bill.
Alex Winter.
No.
Oh,
Ted.
the girls. Okay.
Ted. I'm sorry. Ted's
Billy?
daughter only
Billy.
watched 20 seconds of the first movie, and that's how she got her Ted.
Wow.
Bill.
Just 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Well, I mean, there's not like there's a whole lot to him. If it's the right
Well,
20
it's
seconds,
also
then
the
she'll
modern
get all the.
age.
Yeah.
You could have gotten
Which-
a 20-second compilation of all of his mannerisms.
That's just-
Here's
this
the best
is
thing
true.
about this: it rolls around full circle, especially since the kids are listeners.
This is true. Because in the film, they do say it's like, oh, we're just really good at putting stuff together.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that wasn't supposed to be a meta joke,
Mixers.
perhaps. Because that's.
I mentioned that when they got on stage, it was like, oh, we're just getting stuff together.
It's like
We're compiling samples for you guys before they left. Remember?
Yeah.
They were going to compile samples for their dads to give to.
And then
And that was like switched towards the end. I'm like, oh shit, they're mixers.
Though,
Well, but then they also went to the various musicians that they picked up over their own travels through time, and got them playing the samples that they needed to weave together the song that unites the world.
I want one thing from this movie. I want Bill and Ted 3 2.0. I want to see the freaking journey of the wives.
Yes! Oh my God!
You want a mini movie?
I do. I want.
Even if it's just like a little half-hour thing, make that a.
I was
As
checking,
we're
I was
looking
checking
through
through
the
the
extras.
I was checking through the features to see if we're not that. It was like a little like side thing that they had filmed, like the wives' excellent adventure or something like that.
Because that's one of the gags going on with this movie is that we saw 2 trips through time. Bill and Ted basically trying to pull a Calvin and steal their homework from themselves. For those of you that ever read Calvin and Hobbes, and if you haven't, why haven't you done so? It's a classic comic strip.
Because I can't read.
Sorry.
Fair point.
Fair point. Those of you who can read Calvin and Hobbes. But so literally what Bill and Ted are doing is they're jumping into the future to try to find a version of themselves that has written the song that unites the world so they can basically steal it, take it back, and bada boom, save the timeline. Whereas Billy and Thea are actually trying to put together a band for their fathers so that they have a band that can play the song that unites the world. And so they're literally doing what Bill and Ted were doing in the first movie, except instead of making a history report, they're trying to make a song.
But that's the thing that makes no sense to me. Maybe because that whole time thing kind of messes with my brain. How can they go forward into time when said time limit is supposed to be the end time limit.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Yes. This is something that has been bothering me ever since I've basically gotten older and been a bit more wise about time travel stuff. You're not supposed to think about it too hard when it comes to the Bill and Ted movies.
Any movie with time in it has their own set of rules.
This is fair.
And TV shows and whatnot. And you know what the best part about it is? It's fiction.
Yes.
Woo!
I was about to say, well...
Okay, it's kind of like...
There is no real, and there is no true. It just exists.
Mm.
Or it doesn't, depending on what you're watching.
See, it's kind of like in, what was it, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, where they managed to go back in time by slingshotting around the sun.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Superman?
Which, by the... Oh, yeah.
Well, no. He didn't swing around the sun. He just somehow rewound time by flying around. But he's
reversing
the Earth's
rotation, which would have thrown everybody off because it would have negated gravity and everybody would have died.
Yes, but he's Superman. He breaks the rules by his mere existence.
So, guys, that's how picking the brain made the plan work.
What?
They were stopping the war by using Superman, and they were throwing all the people off the Earth. So Pinky and the Brain survived.
Sure, we'll go with that. Okay, I don't remember that. Don't even try to explain it. I don't care. But
though I will say, out of all time things, the best one was when, and I'm gonna go off my tangent now. Batman in the past meeting himself and going, I don't remember this. That is the best way to explain timelines.
Yeah.
In all honesty, the best way I've ever heard time in any movie, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the right time to bring that up, but they basically explained how quantum time travel works and everything.
Oh yeah.
It was very well done there, and I like that they basically just were like, Back to the Future was bullshit. But what I was gonna say about trying to figure out how the time travel stuff works in a Bill and Ted movie, just remember the MST3K mantra: it's just a movie. I should really just relax.
Or no, Cinema Snob's old buddy Jake. When he was still a member of his little cast for the midnight screenings, you sit down, you shut the fuck up, and you watch the goddamn movie.
Shut your brain off, enjoy it in the moment, think about it later.
Don't look at that plot hole over there. What plot hole? Ah!
So what's the rule for watching Michael Bay movies?
Switch your brain off, think about it later.
Watch something else?
Hey,
do you like explosions? Do you like action?
Michael Bay. Not all of Michael Bay's movies are terrible. The Transformers movies, I can enjoy them in the moment. It's when I think about them afterwards that I see the flaws in them.
The thing is, you can remember them afterwards.
That's the curse of my brain.
There's some movies out there that you just watch and then a day or two later you're just like,
what the hell did I watch?
You say that, but I still remember geeking out when Optimus Prime transformed for the first time.
That's the first movie, though.
That still
Name
counts.
a time that happened in the last two Transformers movies.
Oh,
anything.
A good time or a bad time? I remember a bad time very well.
Good times in the last two.
Okay, the racist twin bots. I laughed my ass off.
That wasn't the last two movies. There's been 5.
Okay,
that was 2. 6. I'm not counting Bumblebee because that was good, and it wasn't by Michael Bay.
Back to Bill and Ted.
Back to Bill and Ted.
No, damn it! I need a whole fucking episode for what I feel and how I feel about.
We should do a Ramblecast for you, so you can get your.
Are we going to do a Ramblecast on Transformers or Michael Bay? Because I'm kind of confused now.
Michael Bay.
It's a Ramblecast, so it doesn't have a title. It just goes.
Ramblecast.
3. It'll be a Ramblecast 4, technically.
Ramblecast 4.
Because we split the shared universe thing into 2. But it, Bill and Ted. What else?
Well, all right. So I got to ask this really quickly. So between the tributes, I'm just going to narrow it down to 2. Between George Carlin and Robin Williams and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which one was the better two?
Ask questions. So that's an ask question. They're both too damn good. You can't ask that question.
Yes, I can. I just did.
Damn it, Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Because it actually had him in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one was in the jungle and in a game.
No, I mean George Carlin
Was actually
in the movie.
Bill and Ted 3.
It was just an etching.
It's
of Welcome to the Jungle.
As much it's more than that. It's also his piece as well. As much as I like
But
that,
still
I have to go with George. I have to go with George Carlin.
Okay.
I mean, this one, like I said, it felt more tasteful.
Yeah. It was very.
I mean,
it was very
I
well
wouldn't
done.
say
But
that the Welcome to the Jungle was distasteful.
Oh no.
it was nice acknowledgement.
But it's also something you can miss very easily. Well, this was smack dab in your face.
It's like, how do we explain this? Walk by it. Oh, okay.
No,
And it wasn't really smack dab in your face as there it is kind of thing. I mean, blink and you missed it with Ghostbusters 2016 one.
Well, with
That
like
to
that
me
one.
is disrespectful because
no.
I didn't even see it because I literally did blink and miss it.
No, see, I need to tell
Actually,
you.
I think I was still face palming from the queef joke.
No, this was how it was for me
That's
when
a
I was
long face
watching.
palm.
When I was watching,
It's a bad joke.
when I was watching the Ghostbusters 2016 film, when the dean for the university or whatever walked out of the room and it focused on that bust for a little bit, I'm like, man, they're focusing on this bust for a little bit too long than it should be. Then I was like,
yeah.
20. What?
I think
In the
2016.
female Ghostbusters.
2016.
the
So
female.
maybe it was,
anything
I
with-
didn't
anything with
recognize
6
him.
on it is a bad thing then.
No, here's the thing. I think I didn't recognize it because I was so pissed off from the whatever I just saw about that movie from the very start of it. Goes throwing up for an abnormally long time on everybody, ectoplasm. Stupid, petty, pissy, shitty jokes that okay, there's a couple laughs. Here's a laugh. Here's a laugh. That goes on too long. Okay, that's a kind of a chuckle. Too long. And I'm like, it's a Saturday Night Live skit that just literally flopped.
This is why I feel like the black sheep of the room. Because I really wanted a sequel to that.
Yeah, I wanted a sequel to that where Gozer kills them all and then the original Ghostbusters take
But
over
I
again.
wanted to see what the Gozer would look like.
One from the
We're
game.
still gonna get it. We're gonna get
Can
it.
I just say that frickin' queef joke made me so upset.
She wanted to walk out of the fucking movie 5 minutes in.
Wow.
And
And bringing it back to Bill and Ted.
I will ask this question because I think we've all said
Her
as much
face
as
was
we
so
can say
sour.
about
It's
Bill and
not
Ted.
because I'm a woman and I took no offense, because it was the stupidest thing. And
Where
I
do
was
you
like,
know
that's
it's
not
so
funny,
bad?
it's dumb.
Her face was.
Showing, talking about what her face looked like
We just
really
gotta
works
put-
well on it.
we gotta-
I
On
know,
podcast.
right?
I know what we gotta do. We have to somehow cut a picture of Jackie Chan's face on here now. Yeah.
I mean, you already know what it looks like.
The Jackie Chan meme.
The fuck meme.
Yeah, but Bill and Ted 3,
Oh,
was tasteful with its reference. It did a good job of weaving the pass the torch characters on to the
They didn't
To
force
the,
it down
to,
your throat.
to the
you
kids.
didn't force them down your throat.
You had a thought.
What did you guys think of like the new? I don't want to say celebrities, but okay, Kid Cudi. Yes, Kid Cudi, whatever.
Cudi?
Who the hell
Kid
is that?
Cudi?
again?
Cudi.
Kid Cudi is in the film.
Who?
Yeah, I don't
Here's-
know who he is either.
Yeah, I don't feel old.
I'm
I don't
older
feel
than
like
everybody
I
else
listen
in
to that
this
kind
room.
of music.
Yay!
But like the musicians that they go back in time
Yep.
to
I-
get and
Yeah.
Nothing against him at all, but I just feel it. All the movies, the first two, and this one should have kept with the same tone of historical figures.
yes.
Not making, he's a historical figure now, and then we're gonna play a station joke, and then he's just gonna vanish like he was a celestial being, and then I'm just like,
I mean, he did
fuck
kind of
just
give
happened?
he did give them a lot of knowledge in terms of
Of
being a
quantum stuff.
quantum physics and shit.
And he helped Keanu Reeves become an infinite being.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Shouldn't have been played by someone more philosophical like Kanye West.
No.
Hey, he's going. No.
Fuck you!
Kanye West 2020, motherfucker.
Fuck you!
He's actually not on the ballot in Michigan, I think, or Mississippi. So one of the two places he's actually not on the ballot.
Just make the meteor fall and crash into Earth now and kill us all, please.
Oh my god.
But how did you guys feel about the historical figures in this one, like Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong, Mozart.
Yeah.
And then some Chinese flutist.
Oh, wait. We gotta mention the dueling banjos.
Oh, that was one of the best scenes in there.
You're taking my thunder here.
Oh, sorry. If you want to,
I mean, the storm is doing it.
We're recording this while there's a thunderstorm going on.
So the power goes out. Oh wait, we don't.
No, this thing is on battery. So
good.
But sorry, Sam, you were.
No, you already took it.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Do you want?
Fuck you.
You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
Damn right I am.
Okay.
What?
Dueling banjos.
The Mozart and Hendrix
jamming out
where Mozart starts, Jimmy goes. He's like, "Oh, so you got that? I got this too. I bet you don't know what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play it too." And it was just, I even mentioned it during the movie. It was a dueling banjos for the modern era,
and it was
fantastic. And it was 110% less rapey.
You're confusing dueling banjos with Deliverance.
That is from Deliverance.
Dueling banjos came well before Deliverance. Deliverance just ruined it.
I will say I like
or made it better.
I like the one where they
Family Guy made it worse.
What? Sorry,
they got people on the band.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, come join our band we're gonna say saving the world. You don't believe us?
Off.
Why do you not believe us?
Yeah, they went to Hendrix first, and Hendrix just blew them off.
Like, I ain't high enough for this shit, so we went and smoked some more, and then
suddenly they turn up with Louis Armstrong.
And then he's like, yeah, it's funny, hilarious. He's a little, 60 now.
Yeah,
I still want to know where he came from, because there's I want to go back and watch all of that, and there was no fucking trumpet
It was
around
in his
him.
jacket.
No! We're not having magical jacket pockets.
It's just a movie. It's a Bill and Ted movie for that matter. Don't think about it too much.
Keanu Reeves was gonna frickin' stage smash a
theremin, yeah. That was another thing. Oh, God.
You missed that. He looked like he was going to, and he really wanted to, but people on set were like, no, we've only got one of those, and that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't want to hate. We don't want to have a hateful eight incident here.
He's just like doing this. No. Because you see him in the background like 3 or 4 times start to swing it. Like he's gonna bash the shit out of it, but he doesn't make contact with anything by about 4 feet.
I liked some of the running gags that they carried over from the previous movies,
like
as well.
The stepmom,
Missy, yes,
stepmom,
who in the first movie was married to Bill's dad,
yes,
and then in the second movie had divorced Bill's dad and married Ted's dad, but in the credits of the second movie, they basically had her divorce Ted's dad and marry the evil tyrant from the future. But then in this movie, she's divorced Ted's dad and is married.
She's divorced the villain from the future.
This is true.
That's how they kept with that continuity.
Yeah.
And now that Ted's dad is his son.
Well, yeah, because she's now married Ted's younger brother.
No, what was that? What was the joke that they did in the second film? It's like you could be your.
Well,
that makes the very first movie really awkward now. Because Missy, her age then, and
oh my God, yeah, oh jeez, because
the age gap.
Oh my God,
like 10.
Usually the trophy wives trade
for the son. Kind of skip the generation.
Oh God, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it makes that first movie awkward now, don't it?
Oh my God, yes.
Check it out of your brain now, folks.
That's gonna replace the whale in my nightmares.
20-something wanted.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember his damn name.
Deacon's.
Fucking 10-year-old Deacon.
Was that the same actor as now?
Good question.
I think I still have IMDb up on my phone.
They brought Death back, so why not?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it was Keanu Reeves back.
friggin' William Sadler coming back to play as Death, and
with the accent.
Yeah.
For no reason. It had no reason in the second movie. He just like, fuck it, I'd do this accent. Let's do it again.
I still can't get over the fact I watched Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure Journey multiple times. Multiple times. I never noticed that family's dad is the Reaper. I never noticed that until now.
So there's a scene in Bogus Journey where you see William Sadler, who does play the Grim Reaper, where
they're watching the concert.
Where they're watching the concert, he's out of costume, makeup, etc., etc., etc.
And he had hair.
And, with his own actual hair. And when they were... It's funny because when they were releasing, like, set photos and whatever on their respective Facebook pages, on Sadler's, one of them was, like kind of like a close-up sort of image of his face with the Grim Reaper stuff on. I looked at it, I'm like, are you wearing a bald cap, dude? Because the wrinkles on your face aren't matching up with the rest of your head, man. And not to mention the fact the boots that he was wearing when they found him.
Where I was literally like, are those the boots that the evil tyrant was wearing in the second movie?
No, they look more like Gene Simmons' boots
which would make way more sense for Death. Let's be honest.
All you got to do is look at the way Gene Simmons looked back in 1970 with Kiss, and you'll get an idea of what they looked like. What was it? They were like, because it turns out between the events of the second and third film, they kicked him out. He apparently tried to take the Wild Stallion's name and
tried to release an album that was like all bass. That was just all bass.
Well, come on, man. You can only have 40-minute solo bass solos for.
Those were the highlight of the Wild Stallions show gigs, man.
It was a 40-minute bass solo per concert.
Yeah.
Imagine
he was in the
concerts
group.
are typically about 3 hours.
And then you get a 40-minute
that's about
bass.
1/3 of the damn concert.
Well, damn, he's on bass solo. I'm gonna get some food. Who wants the food?
Pretty much, that's when you go sell your merchandise. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm going to the merch.
They shouldn't have kicked him out for that. That's merchandise sales up.
I feel like one of the musicians that should have popped up in the movie. I'm sorry, but they should have gotten Tenacious D in a cameo.
Please.
So
I'm not a big fan of Jack Black, in his music, but I would have been 100% okay with that.
Here we go. Questions for everybody. If you could put one musician, doesn't matter what they play, how they play it,
or who they are,
in this, who would you pick?
Very tough to say. I don't know that.
Sam?
Oh no, I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Actually, I do know. Weird Al.
Weird Al? I think he's already in this one.
Well, yeah, we think we saw him in the credits, but that was like he wasn't in the.
He said magician.
Yeah, Zeke occasionally trips over his words.
He plays music. Which music person do you pick?
Music.
I say Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath.
I would go a little bit strange and probably get kicked in the head this one. Marshmallow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been angry with that.
Oh no, wait, we needed the opening band from Bogus Journey back. Primus.
Yes.
I mean, you're saying musician.
Anyone.
But Marshmallow really, does he play an instrument or does he mix?
He mixes. So mixing would be his instrument. Just like how
the girls were mixing.
Yeah.
You can't have a mix with a mix.
Doesn't he play guitar also?
That's Skrillex.
I would
Skrillex
say
plays
that's how they got there.
Marshmallow does too.
The way they could have done it to have Marshmallow in there would have been they saw him mix one time, and that's how come they became listeners. They heard things a lot more clearer once they saw him once. It doesn't have to be a major piece of the story.
Yeah.
Just a
inspiration.
Yeah. Do you have one, Peanut?
2.
You have 2.
Peanut has
drop him, Peanut. Drop him.
Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Baby Metal.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, yes. Because Baby Metal is awesome. Or Lady Beard. Also awesome. I have one.
You have one.
Ozzy.
Oh, goddamn.
So we would have had 2 members of Black Sabbath if we had.
Sure, why not? You could literally just have dropped him in the background in some scene, or had him show up in hell or something.
No,
Yes!
we need to mention members because we can't have a full band there. We would have to have members, individuals,
right?
Like Ozzy sing, okay. There would have to be somebody from Lady Bird's a singer. Does he play an instrument?
The harmonica.
No, Lady Bear plays, I believe, guitar too. But he'll be the vocal.
Doing some of that Mongolian throat singing.
Mm-hmm.
Into the
Joey Jordison
on drums,
on anything because he can play it.
I know he can play guitar,
drums for goddamn sure, but yeah,
have him just doing a jam session with the caveman.
The guy.
Well, in that case, we might as well throw Animal in.
Yeah.
The guy who originally was
Dr. Teeth.
All the band members.
vocals. That's a throwback.
Def
Oh, Brandon Small.
Because he played all the instruments and did the singing.
No,
they already had David Grohl in the movie for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he plays all the instruments too. I'm a little disappointed they didn't pick him up for their more modern.
I know, right? Like it's like so you only had Dave for that one small scene.
Oh yeah, they shut the door on him, and that was the end of it. I thought they was gonna see him like pointing, yeah, those guys or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe he get zapped and go to hell, and then he's like, "What the hell am I doing here again?" Something like that.
And then they pick him up and bring him with them.
Well, maybe it's a deleted scene somewhere on the chopping floor.
Yeah, I agree. They could have had way more.
They couldn't afford Grohl longer than that.
That may be true.
It's like, come on. The majority of our budget is already going towards Keanu, who's donating it to the the crew for some reason. Because he is known for doing that.
Because Keanu's a cool dude that way.
Well, he says to be. Oh, he says party on.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? Who says what?
Ted says party on, dudes. Bill says be excellent to each other.
So, should we wrap this up with one final question?
Yes, because we are already starting to come up on the hour mark. No, just the 1 hour.
Stars, 1 out of 5. Everybody place your bets.
You already. Everybody here knows already. I would say 4.5.
I'm gonna go with yours. 4.5.
All right. What about you, Peanut?
She's unsure. Not as high as 4.5, I'm guessing.
3.5 or 4.
Okay, well, your stars throughout all three.
What?
1.
Well,
basically,
let's do.
Well, yeah. Let's hear your opinion on 3 first before we rate all
4.
3.
Okay, now come on.
And I'll put mine at 3.
Okay.
Now let's do all 3.
Well,
not as a whole, but individualized.
Individualized. First movie, 3.5. Second movie, only 3, and 4.5 for Face the Music.
Who's next?
Chris.
So first one, I'd say 3.5 for the first one because it was the most excellent adventure.
It was the most excellent adventure. Didn't age all that well, but still an excellent ride.
Yes. For the second one, I'd say 2.5.
Okay.
And for
because it aged even less well.
Yeah. Honestly, for William Sadler as Death, I'll give it a 3, a full 3.
Okay.
And for
we've already said for 3.
Yeah.
So.
Peanut.
For
sorry.
You already said 3 though.
Oh yeah, we all did.
Peanut.
I take back 5 stars for everything.
She's like, easy way out.
She's like, I'm tired. She's tired. Doesn't always like having to talk about this sort of stuff.
I just want everyone to be.
You want everyone to be excellent to each other.
And
Sam.
All right, so I gotta ask the group this one. Do you feel like the world needed this movie?
It needed it to be played in everybody's household.
Yes.
All at the same time. And by
God,
everybody forced them to watch this shit.
And give everyone an instrument to jam out with everyone when the song unites the world.
Send a kazoo to everyone with the branding logo on the side.
Long live the zoo.
Get the whatchamacallit, the Wild Stallions sticker on everybody's instruments.
There you go.
So Sam, you asked the question.
First movie, 3.5.
Really?
Second movie, 3. 4 for the third.
Okay.
I will go 4.5 for 1, 4, 2. 2 for 4. And then, like I said, 3 for 3.
Okay.
I
So
didn't know there was a fourth one.
I was
And
just
you didn't like it
to
either.
translate for Zeke, 3.5. No, sorry, 4.5 for the first movie, 4 for the second movie, and then
That's a good movie.
3.5 for the third.
Degeneration.
Yeah, that don't mind that little comment. Chris is
Because
just
Chris
Chris
is
is
just
looking
scrolling
through his voodoo
I'm
account.
literally just sitting here looking.
Steve
Just,
But yeah, I think that about wraps up this edition of the Bingecast.
We do have one question for our audience. How would I guess?
Yes,
Oh,
go ahead.
If you like what we're doing for movies, let us know so we can do more movies for you guys.
Yes,
because we have plenty in the can.
we have plenty in the can.
Well, not just the can. If movies
I'm gonna
coming out,
drop
theaters.
Movies coming out. This is true.
Because we do have a Gundam movie coming out sometime shortly.
Yes.
Well, they don't even have a director yet.
Shut up, shortly.
Come on, guys. We need to get through 900 more episodes of Gundam before we get there.
No, we're not playing
Don't
One
rush it.
Piece.
Don't rush it.
But yeah, there are plenty of other movies coming out soon. Some of them will be available for streaming at home, like we did with this one. Some of them will only be in theaters. How we handle those ones, we're not sure yet, but we do plan on doing more of them.
Join us for the ride.
Join us for the ride. Until then,
Be excellent to each other.
and party
Party
on,
on,
dudes. So for Chris, Peanut, Sam, and Zeke, I am Jay, and we will see you next time. Party on, dudes. 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 Party on, dudes.